In the world of cinema, directors often make artistic decisions to make their movies stand out and put a refreshing spin on things. Among many such techniques, breaking the fourth wall and interacting with the audience is always a fan favorite. This not only makes the atmosphere fun, but also catches the viewers off guard and adds a fun twist to their movie watching experience. This concept has been implemented in movies for quite some time, with films such as A Clockwork Orange and Psycho that were released in the 1960s and 1970s. In recent times, the Deadpool trilogy and The Big Short have been among the films that use this technique, and today we have come to you with a curated list of the top 10 movies that masterfully break the fourth wall. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Deadpool 2016 to 2024 trilogy. Deadpool was a 2016 American superhero film that served as a spin-off to the X-Men franchise, and it followed the life of this superhero as he embarks on an adventure to deal with Ajax. This movie also explored his origins in detail, and it was such a hit that Marvel soon greenlighted an entire trilogy. Any list about breaking the fourth wall would be incomplete without mentioning this trilogy, which has constantly used this technique to add a fun twist to the MCU. Deadpool seems to have perfected his comedic timing, and there are innumerable instances throughout the movies where he breaks the fourth wall and directly addresses the audience. His ongoing meta commentary is inspired by the Deadpool comic series, which is also penned in a way that often depicts him talking to the audience and taking them along on a journey. Deadpool stands out among the current crop of superhero movies due to the titular character's anti-hero persona and themes of dark comedy and satire. Due to its humor and freshness, it's received an overwhelmingly positive response from the audiences, and Deadpool's attempts to connect directly with the viewers also help keep them engaged throughout the trilogy.
We never have any fun anymore.
How can you say that?
Why not? You're always leaning on me to...
Annie Hall, 1997. Known as one of the best rom-coms of all time, Annie Hall was a 1977 Woody Allen film that followed the life of Alvy Mack Singer as he tries to figure out why all his relationships end in failure. After being at a loss for a long time, his life takes a turn when he meets Annie Hall, portrayed by Diane Keaton. The two share a sweet relationship, but their lives are nothing short of a rollercoaster adventure as they break up at one point and eventually find their way back to each other. Not many people can break the fourth wall as well as Woody Allen, and his work earned this movie 3 Oscars. The film has several such scenes, but some of the ones that stand out include one where Alvy and Annie wait outside a cinema where an academic constantly cribs about the film. When the complaining gets too much, Alvy turns to the camera to complain while another person joins him. This movie was well loved by audiences and critics alike, and it especially earned praise for its clever writing. Especially loved how the movie gives us insight into Alvy's thought process through these fourth wall breaks, even when his thoughts are not directly related to the plot. Fight Club, 1999. Created by David Fincher, Fight Club has attained cult classic status over the years, and it was originally adapted from the 1996 novel by Chuck Palahniuk. The movie has a stellar cast, including Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and Helena Bonham Carter, and it follows Edward Norton's character as an unnamed narrator whose life takes a turn after he meets Tyler Durden. The two soon form a fight club, and the movie gets increasingly twisted as they cross paths with a striking woman, Marla Singer. While most of the movies on this list break the fourth wall to connect with the audience, this technique serves a different purpose in Fight Club. Here, Tyler Durden's character has such crazy lore that Edward Norton plays the part of a narrator who can break the fourth wall and tell us more about him. It is a technique used to keep the audiences looped in with what is happening in the movie, and Fincher does a beautiful job of seamlessly inserting these wall breaks. Fight Club explores themes of identity, masculinity, and consumerism. It is also filled with violence as these men come together to express their aggression at the Fight Club. While it received mixed reviews upon its release, it has become a well-known classic over the years, even if the first rule of Fight Club is not to talk about Fight Club. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986. John Hughes is known as the man who practically changed the teen comedy genre forever, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off is one of his most acclaimed works. The movie follows our titular protagonist as he decides to cut class one last time before graduation, but he does not realize that this is about to turn into one of his grandest days ever. This film is often regarded as one of the best attempts at mastering the art of breaking the fourth wall, and it feels like a diary entry as Ferris addresses the camera for almost the entirety of the movie, almost as if he's talking to his friend Cameron. He constantly explains some aspect of his life to the audience, and this goes on until the post-credit scene where he peeks out of his bathroom and tells the audience to go home. This movie is such a classic among movies that break the fourth wall that it has even been referenced in other media, such as the Deadpool trilogy. John Hughes does a wonderful job of creating this youthful character who aims to bring joy to his friend's life through his actions, and the execution is so well done that we feel like we are also playing hooky alongside Bueller. Goodfellas, 1990. Often considered Martin Scorsese's best work, Goodfellas follows the life of Henry Hill, an established gangster who had dedicated his entire life to this position. The movie begins with Henry telling the audience all about his dream of being a gangster ever since he was a child, and it follows his life as he deals with the highs and lows of being in the mob. As the movie progresses, things go downhill for Henry and his associates, and he eventually ends up in witness protection. Goodfellas does not break the fourth wall too often, but the technique is used to maximize the impact of some notable scenes, such as the time when he addresses the audience directly in the courtroom and smiles through the camera. Henry narrates his story throughout the film through a voiceover, and watching him finally break the fourth wall at the end is the perfect cherry on top of the cake. Goodfellas earned raving reviews from audiences and critics alike, and has often been described as the highest point of Scorsese's career. Robert De Niro and Ray Liotta won over the viewers' hearts with their striking performances, and the movie's themes of violence, integrity, and hunger for power make it one of the best classics of all time. Psycho, 1960. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho has attained cult classic status as it is well loved by audiences even 6 decades after its release. The movie's plot follows Marion Crane, who seems to be on the run after embezzling money, when she crosses paths with a reserved motel proprietor, Norman Bates. As the plot deepens, Psycho follows Marion's disappearance in the aftermath of their meeting as a private detective. Marion's lover and her sister come together to find her. Like many movies on this list, the fourth wall in Psycho breaks towards the end as Norman Bates stares at the screen in a spine-chilling manner. This shot is enough to sell the movie, and one can feel Bates' insanity translate through the screen and reach the audience as soon as he makes eye contact with the camera. Psycho is among one of the greatest movies of all time, and it is especially praised for its slick direction, refreshing camera work, and tense atmosphere. The movie set an entirely new standard for themes of violence and sexuality in American films, and is said to be one of the earliest slasher films of all time. A Clockwork Orange, 1971. Created by Stanley Kubrick, A Clockwork Orange was a 1971 dystopian crime film inspired by Anthony Burgess's 1962 novel. The movie follows the life of Alex, a charismatic antisocial delinquent who takes an interest in classical music while committing heinous acts such as rape, theft, and ultraviolence. He leads a gang of droogs, including Pete, Georgie, and Dim, and the movie follows the horrifying acts of this gang and Alex's eventual capture. At this point, Alex is taken to rehab, where they introduce him to an experimental psychological conditioning technique, and the movie often breaks the fourth wall as Alex narrates his tale. A Clockwork Orange is undeniably a masterclass in breaking the fourth wall, and Alex retains the audience's attention by speaking in a slang language called Nadsat, which consists of Slavic languages, English, and Cockney rhyming slang. Right from the start of the film, Alex stares right into the camera with a creepy look in his eyes and sends a chill down our spine as we get a glimpse into his mind. The movie is filled with disturbing graphic imagery, exploring themes of psychiatry, juvenile delinquency, and gangs, and is essentially a socio-political commentary set in dystopian Britain. Due to the excessive violence, it stirred up a lot of controversy and eventually inspired crime to the point where it had to be banned in several countries. However, it has gained a cult following over the years and is certainly a must-watch.
Great ass. Goes out with that loser Patrick Bateman. What a dork.
American Psycho. 2000. Starring Christian Bale in the lead role as Patrick Bateman, American Psycho is a gripping tale of horror with a touch of satire. The movie follows Bateman's life as an investment banker in New York City, except this seems to be his day job while he leads a double life as a serial killer in his free time. American Psycho is essentially the story of a serial killer who keeps up appearances at his job while often luring women into his apartment and killing them. The movie takes a unique approach to breaking the fourth wall, wherein Bateman's character narrates his story and directly addresses the audience through voiceovers while we view his actions on screen. The film offers a refreshing twist to the serial killer genre of horror films, with Patrick's commentary as an unreliable narrator masterfully breaking the fourth wall and providing insight into his psychotic thoughts. Blending themes of horror and black comedy, the movie is a brilliant attempt to satirize the 1980s yuppie culture and consumerism often portrayed throughout Bateman's actions. The film received rave reviews upon its release and has solidified its position as a cult classic that is frequently referenced in pop culture. Lord of War 2005. Released in 2005, Lord of War is a crime drama film that follows the life of Yuri Orlov, portrayed by Nicolas Cage. Yuri, the eldest son of a family of Ukrainian refugees, witnesses a murder and decides to pursue a career in the illegal arms trade. The movie's events take place just before the dissolution of the Soviet Union, and Yuri soon gains a reputation as an unrivaled gunrunner who catches Interpol's attention. As the movie progresses, Yuri develops a conscience and starts feeling like he has blood on his hands. Things take a turn as he dodges Interpol and deals with rivals. Nicolas Cage excels in breaking the fourth wall, discreetly telling the viewers about illicit arms trafficking as if letting them in on a secret. Lord of War explores themes of war and violence, delving into the secrets of the illegal arms trade. Initially receiving mixed reviews from fans who believe that Nicolas Cage might not be the right person to play Yuri, the film features some of the best instances of breaking the fourth wall and is definitely worth a watch. The Big Short 2015. Directed by Adam McKay, The Big Short is a 2015 American comedy drama film inspired by real-life events during the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008 in the United States. The movie features a stellar cast including Christian Bale, Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, and Brad Pitt, along with many other notable actors and cameos in supporting roles. The film follows Michael Burry, a hedge fund manager who discovers the instability of the American housing market bubble. While he starts trading in favor of himself, the movie also follows characters such as Mark Baum, who runs an independent trading firm and is firmly against American banks. The movie takes us on a wild ride through the depths of the American financial markets, with breaking the fourth wall adding a refreshing light touch to a film covering such a serious topic. The movie relies on this technique to explain dense economic concepts to the audience, with popular celebrities such as Margot Robbie, Anthony Bourdain, Selena Gomez, and Richard Thaler making cameos to explain these ideas using simple metaphors. Despite covering a tense topic, The Big Short is a delightful watch that won over audiences with its lighthearted storytelling.
Count 'em down.
Marvelous verdict. And with that, we come to the end of our exploration of the top 10 movies that masterfully break the fourth wall. From Ferris Bueller talking to Cameron, to Deadpool and Wolverine constantly breaking the fourth wall in the most recent MCU release, these instances have always managed to get a laugh from the audience. While we have tried to curate some of the best ones on this list, we would love to hear your thoughts, so share your favorites in the comments below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.